Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another transfer news video. First things first, guys, make sure you smash up the like, subscribe if you're new around here, all of that good stuff. And as always, leave your thoughts in the comments. And with Chelsea, you know, there's always stuff going on. And in today's video, we're going to be going through the latest with Xavi Simons, the latest on Nkunku, the latest on Renato Veiga. Those really the three big things going on at the moment in regards to Chelsea, and we're now inside the final 2 weeks of the window. And I know we're all sick of hearing that name, Xavi Simons, but there seems to be some sort of plan in place now. According to Florian Plettenberg in Germany, Sky Germany reporter, he's stating the current plan is for Xavi Simons to start against Bayern Munich on Friday night. That's the Bundesliga opener. After that, the move to Chelsea set to be completed. The chances of it going through remain high. He wants Chelsea. Personal terms are agreed upon. RB waiting for the official offer. So there seems to be some sort of plan in place. Simons will play his final game Friday. And then I presume by Friday, Nkunku will hopefully be gone. And then we can submit our offer, which will get accepted, I would have thought, and then we can move things forward and get Simons in as quickly as possible. But at the rate things are going, he's unlikely to feature for us until after the September international break, which is not ideal. But this at least seems to be an update where there seems to be some sort of plan in place. So we can only wait and see what happens with this. Whether that's actually true or not remains to be seen. As has always been reported, Chelsea confident of getting this deal done. I'm confident it'll go through. Yes, my confidence has dipped a little bit compared to what it was, but I'm still hopeful this happens. So let's hope that Simons gets through Friday injury-free, doesn't pick up any injuries, and then we can go ahead and close this deal out, because I think we're all sick and tired of talking about it. I think we're all sick and tired of waiting for it. But hopefully our patience will be rewarded. We'll get this deal done, and Simons will do really well. And then there's another update from Romano on his YouTube that Simons is still patiently waiting for Chelsea, really wants this move to happen because he can't wait to go to Chelsea. When we see him doing his ring celebration, we know it's his celebration, but it's also a message to Chelsea. One of these little rings. Guys, pick up the phone. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. And do you know what? This is what I like about the players that we've signed this summer, guys, is that every single one of these players that have come through the door this summer, their first choice has been Chelsea. First choice has been to come to Chelsea and come to play for the world champions. And that really says something. We've now got a group of players where every single player absolutely wants to be at the football club. And to have players that their first choice, sometimes their only choice in the matter is Chelsea, is brilliant to see. So that's promising. And I'm fed up on making guesses of when this might happen, but hopefully next week, guys, we can say that that Xavi Simons will be a Chelsea player. But this is the latest update from Florian Plettenberg over at Sky Germany. So let's hope that this is accurate, and let's hope that we see Simons' deal completed next week, guys. That'll be my guess on the situation. In terms of other issues, I mean, right now, Garnacho, there's no real advancements on that, but the big ones we need to sort out are the likes of Renato Veiga and Christopher Nkunku. Let's start with Renato Veiga, because we know that Villarreal had a bid knocked back earlier this month. We know that a move to Atletico Madrid fell through earlier this month. And now there's our Cancelo report, and Renato Veiga's agreed personal terms with Villarreal, and he's ready to join the Spanish club. Difficult negotiations continue over the fee with Chelsea, who value him at about 34 million. There is hope in Spain that a deal can be struck for under 30. So there is interest in Renato Veiga, and I suspect a deal will get done. Whether it's a deal to Villarreal, I don't know. Is £34 million a fair valuation? What do we get him for? We got him for what? 12 million quid or something? I think it's on 14 million euros, so around £12 million. Has he almost tripled in value since we signed him? He's a Portuguese international. He's played half a season for Juventus. I think the value's definitely doubled. Is 34 million a bit steep? Maybe. I think 30 is fair. I think to double your money within 12 months, yes, you've got the age. Yes, you've got, his ability to improve and that ceiling that he could potentially reach. But 34, maybe a little bit high. I think if it was 30, 31 all in, I think there'd be some sort of deal to be agreed there. There is interest from Premier League clubs as well, but they're obviously yet to show their hand in terms of an official bid. The only official bids we've had are from La Liga side. So let's wait and see what happens with this one. But Veiga, obviously, will be leaving the club. I know people have been saying, why don't we bring him back in? Why don't, we use him as a viable alternative to Levi Colwill, who's out injured? That's never been an option. Veiga's made it very clear he wants out. He wants a new challenge. He wants to go elsewhere. And that is exactly what will happen. And we will find a solution within these final 2 weeks of the window, in my opinion. Villarreal pushing to get it done. Chelsea, I think, will stay reasonably firm to their valuation. They might drop it a little bit, but they definitely won't drop it significantly. Will they drop it below 30 million? I don't think so. I think it's going to be 30 million, and we can accept that. I think that's fine in my view. But let me know your thoughts, guys, on what you think is an acceptable fee for Renato Veiga. But things seem to be moving in the right direction in terms to his exit. But perhaps the most key exit all summer, really, the one that holds the key, the one that's going to set the dominoes into play. And that is Christopher Nkunku. Christopher Nkunku. We are waiting for this to happen. Bayern Munich, we're hoping they're going to get a move on and do something. They had a loan bid rejected, which is pretty standard. We were never going to accept that. We've made it perfectly clear that we want a permanent transfer. Chelsea want about £43 million. Whether they're going to get that or not, I don't know. We know that Bayern Munich have got money, but they're now just trying to play the broke card, which is an interesting move from them. They're trying to play the broke card. I suspect some sort of agreement will be reached, but the clock is ticking and we do need to get a move on for it. Bayern are obviously trying to be creative with their formula to make a deal happen. Nkunku wants the move. Personal terms are agreed. There's no issues there. There's no issues there whatsoever. So again, it's another waiting game in regards to Christopher Nkunku. And just pay the money, Bayern. It's not a lot of money for Nkunku. Even if it drops to 40 or just slightly below 40 million pounds, that for me is not outrageous in my view for Nkunku, a player that will contribute a lot, a player that will be very good for Bayern Munich. Considering they were about to spend 60, 70 million euros on Nick Woltemade, I think they can pay 40 million pounds for Christopher Nkunku. But we remain to be, it remains to see what is going to happen with that transfer. But hopefully we can get some sort of departure this week, because we've really got to push on and close this Xavi Simons deal out. So Nkunku, no real movement there. Bayern trying to be creative with the formula. Garnacho, we know personal terms are agreed. No bids gone in yet from Chelsea. That for me is going to be a final week job, maybe final few days of the transfer window. And we do also have news on Nicolas Jackson, guys, because apparently 4 clubs in the top half of the Premier League have inquired for Nicolas Jackson, as well as numerous Champions League teams. Chelsea would like 80 million, but would look at lower if it's broadly in line with other striker moves this summer. So other striker moves this summer, broadly in line with, we're looking at a Benjamin Sesko. We're looking at that sort of a figure. I mean, if you count Joao Pedro, maybe. So you're looking at really somewhere between 60 and 70 million, in my opinion, on this one. There are reports that Napoli might look into signing Nicolas Jackson. Maybe he might go on loan. They've got Romelu Lukaku missing for 3 months. They're now looking to bring another striker in. Whether that's going to happen or not, I don't know. We know there's interest from AC Milan. That was one to watch. We know there's been interest from Juventus as well. So there is interest from Italy. There's interest from 4 Premier League sides. Who those 4 Premier League sides are, I think we can pretty much guess. I think Newcastle, Aston Villa, Man United obviously inquired before Sesko. Maybe there's a new one that's inquired, and maybe Tottenham are potentially one of those as well. But if Tottenham are going to sign Savio and Eze, I don't see them making a move for Nico Jackson. And I think, look, 65, 70 million pounds, I think, is the best that we can hope for with this one. And then we wait and see if anyone offers that or if anyone gets anywhere near that. But for me, there's still no guarantee that Jackson leaves. But we'll have to wait and find out. He obviously wants to go, but as has been reported, if he doesn't leave, if Chelsea don't get an acceptable offer, then I'm sure that he'll probably be reintegrated back into the squad and we'll reassess the situation in January. But there's definitely Premier League interest, definitely European interest. No offers as of yet for Jackson. And I'm very, very interested to see how this one pans out and where he's going to be playing his football come the end of this window. And one other minor point is that Tosin Adarabioyo is back in, is expected to injury described as very minor. The current plan is for him to return to training later this week. It's now Tuesday. The game's Friday. This doesn't mean that he's going to be ready for Friday. If he returns to training tomorrow, he could well be. But if he doesn't return to training until Thursday, maybe he's on the bench. Maybe he's on the bench for Friday. We'll wait and see. But it's good news that Tosin, obviously, not going to be a major issue. He'll be back in training and we can get him back as soon as possible because he's going to take on a real increased important role for this upcoming season if we don't sign another centre-back. But that's just all the latest Chelsea transfer news, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Smash up the like, subscribe if you're new, all of that good stuff. And I'll catch you lot again in another one soon. Up the Chelsea, and we're out. Peace.